Believe it. Hi. Okay, here we are. Monday, the 8th of March, and we are almost 1 year into doing this doofy show with show 199. Holy crap! Look at that. Hey, Lucas. We are here once again to do whatever the heck we do while coping with this ridiculous pandemic. I'm always kind of bewildered when I look at the fact that we've done, 198 of these, and this will be 199. And it really just started from, all right, I'm stuck at home. I have a half hour. I don't have anything else going on. Instead of driving home, why don't I just do this? And I went back and actually looked at the very first one that I did. It's still in my Facebook feed, and I think it may actually be on YouTube as well. I'm not sure. But it just... a lot has happened. It's been a very dense year, I think. And so we're going to do some stuff here. And then tomorrow's show will be another one of those. I have no idea what we're doing. I am just going to wing it. That seems to be the tradition that I have created here, where I just kind of like start the show and just start doing stuff and see what happens. Tomorrow's show will probably go on longer. Maybe an hour, maybe not quite an hour, but definitely longer than the usual, 20, 25 minutes. But one of the two songs I do that uses that, well, one of the three songs I do uses that picking pattern, will be what I start with, because there's still a lot of brouhaha about this whole pandemic thing, and the pandemic thing is what prompted this song. The lyric, the chorus of it, was written at least partially by Stephen Bruce of the Dragera books. If you've not read any of Stephen Bruce's books, you're in for a ride. Have fun with it. And he wrote the chorus, which was Ask Me Again If COVID Ever Ends. And then I said, oh, I can do something with that. And I wrote like the first verse, and somebody said, oh, we'll give you $100 if you turn this into a 4-minute song. So a couple hours later, I had a 4-minute song, and I was $100 richer. So that's how that works. That's how I became a professional songwriter. Hey. Country song. There will be drawling. Yep. I wanna take you in my arms and never let you leave. But in the interim, I am still coughing in my sleeve. My desire to have you by my side is much more than endemic, and I'd do so much more if 'twere not for this here damn pandemic. I wish that we could be more than just friends. Ask me again if COVID ever ends. Till then I'm socially, emotionally distant. My longing for your comfort's growing stronger every day. What else can it do with us 6 feet or more away? The hunger for for your touch. My love is just short of outrageous, but we can't snog 'cause one or both of us might be contagious. I wish that we could be more than just friends. Ask me again if COVID ever ends. Till then, I'm socially, emotionally distant. Now, see, we would try to have like a slide guitar solo in here somewhere, but I'm just a guy with a ukulele. And Izzy, honestly, it's just that I happen to follow him on Facebook. That's how I got that. You ask me, can we meet again? I know it spells my doom. I'll do my best, but I can't pet your backside on the Zoom. Technology is really grand, but it's all doomed to fail. For the things I want to give to you, I simply can't email. I wish that we could be more than just friends. See how I rhymed that? Ask me again if COVID ever ends. Till then, I'm socially, emotionally distant. How many verses does this song have? I listen to your voicemail and I long for your embrace. It's not the same with 6 layers of cloth from face to face. When this is over, you and I can frolic with impunity. I don't think I can wait till we develop herd immunity. I wish that we could be more than just friends. Ask me again if COVID ever ends. Till then, I'm socially, emotionally distant. You send me pics and movies, all intending to entice. Well, that's fine, but I still have to heed the CDC's advice. I want to stampede to your side, but what else can I do? 'Cause you and I both know it's something much more than the flu. I wish that we could be more than just friends. Ask me again if COVID ever ends. Till then, I'm socially, emotionally distant. Last verse, promise. But now the time I fear has come for us to say adieu. I hope that you will love me still when this damn plague is through. I'll wait for that one special day your love is celebrated. But for your safety and for mine, we'd best keep separated. I wish that we could be more than just friends. Ask me again if COVID ever ends. Till then, I'm socially, emotionally distant. Try to end pretty there, but yeah, Izzy. I know Stephen Bruce through Facebook. That's really it. I know a few writers through Facebook, some of whom I have more close contact with than others. M. Todd Gallaglass, if you have never met this man or heard his stories or his poetry, because he now are a poet as well. I would heartily recommend you check him out as well. So yeah, that is the song that actually made me a professional songwriter. Proving that the standards really aren't that high, are they? And, so the next one is one of the first filks I came up with. And it is off of a Warren Zevon song. And I am going to attempt to retune this thing because I have a sneaking suspicion that it detuned itself in protest. Weirdly, the strings are actually going sharp. Because you'd think that if I'm playing them, they're getting warmed up. They're getting warmed up. They're getting warmer. The strings would get looser because the strings would lengthen. But no, they're tightening up. I think they're actually cringing from what I'm playing. That's my theory. That is my theory, and to it I shall stick. So, one of the things I've discovered about this particular song is that I play it way too dang fast for my own good. So, I I'm going to try and play it a little bit slower, which is funny because I just played Socially Emotionally Distant faster than I think I've ever played it, and it went along nicely, I think. If I had more instruments to back me up, I could draw that thing out to like a 6-minute masterpiece with a 1.5-minute steel guitar solo in the middle of it and stuff like that, and full orchestration. But when it's one doofus and a ukulele, well, you take what you can get. Have you ever made a song with custom tuning? Not intentionally. Although, I do have some cigar box guitar style instruments, and I absolutely adore tuning them to an open G. Open G is like prosthetic talent. You literally can tune it so it's an open G, and then you just go G, A, B, C, like that. That's how I composed Internet Famous and a couple other things. And it's a great thing for just fiddling around. It makes the way that my friend Michael Van Slyke, who made the instruments, put it, it's a wonderful musical sketchbook. You can just doodle on it and just have fun. Now keep in mind, too, I am not actually a musician. I am simply a dilettante. I am striving to be the world's greatest dilettante, but that's going to take some effort. So, about the song. Amusingly enough, every so often Blizzard decides to put out more stuff. I am actually a pretty avid Hearthstone player, although I will not spend money on it. And most of the stuff I do, I spend on the all of the stuff that's currently in the other modes, like Battlefields and the duels, and some of the solo adventures, because I don't have the stamina or the brain power to build decks of cards and spend money on them. Yeah, there we go. That's D. So this just has 3 chords. It's a 3-chord wonder, but I love it. Relax. I went home with the bar wench, the way I always do. How's I to know? She fought for the Alliance too. I was grinding in Pandaria. I took a little risk. Sent Clerics, Orcs, and Mana broadly to get me out of this. An innocent bystander got caught up in their quest. Now I'm being chased by these maniacs. Get me out of this mess. Get me out of this mess. I'm hiding by my Hearthstone. All my dots are in the bin. Send Clerics, Orcs, and Mana. Those stupid cycles done me in. Send Clerics, Orcs, and Mana. PvP, what a great idea. And I'm dead. Send Clerics, Orcs, and Mana. Role-playing, what whole good failure, and then I'm dead again. Damn it. Send Clerics, Orcs, and Mana. This time I'm dead again. Are you sniping me? Send Clerics, Orcs, and Mana. Leroy! Send Clerics, Orcs, and Mana. It's not rage quitting if you're laughing when you do it right. Good game. I'm gonna go play chess. I actually, something, Joseph? I actually got about half of an audience to scream for the Horde when I shouted to Luktar Ogar. Ruktar Ogar, I think is the pronunciation. I'm not sure, again, dilettante. At one of the TFF shows. My end goal is to try and get like an entire audience to go, for the Horde! Because anytime you get an entire audience to shout like good things back to you, it's a positive. If they're shouting things while carrying pitchforks and torches, not so much. Not so much. So, I should mention something. We are, of course, brought to you by our perennial, unofficial sponsor, Ray's Monolith Exchange. Ray's House of Monoliths. We deliver. Don't ask how. Get yourself a monolith. Put it out where everyone can see. Yeah, get yourself a monolith. The absurdity will set you free. It doesn't really matter whose party that you're with. So let's all make it weird. Get yourself a monolith. We put them anywhere. Just don't ask us how we do it. There we go. So that was a good thing. Now, the next song on our agenda, or we have an agenda today. An agenda on today. International Women's Day, by the way. Which was brought to many people's attention through the first Deadpool movie. And if you have seen that, you just had that scene flash through your head. And if you haven't seen it yet, trust me, it's entirely appropriate, both for Deadpool and for International Women's Day. The next thing I'm going to do is actually based on a news article, because there are people out there who study octopi. And one of the things I've noticed is that if you put an octopus out in the sea, well, first of all, octopi are just generally, they're kind of like us, only with more limbs. They're certainly smart. I know there's a couple of tales of an octopus actually, yes, that scene. There's some tales of octopi actually going to the trouble of climbing out of their enclosure, dragging this one bad shrimp with them across the hallway to the office of the person taking care of the octopus, throwing the shrimp at them, and then going back into their enclosure. Which means that when you get down to it, octopi hang out with us mostly because they want to. Apparently have the more socializing octopi. We don't get octopus introverts. The other thing is that when octopi are out in the ocean and not stealing cameras and making award-winning selfies, I might add, if they get bored, they will just go punch fish. Just ball up one tentacle, just for no good reason. Just, and I saw that. I had to write a song. It's jazzy. Fishpuncher the octopus. Fish. There we go. Fishpuncher the octopus. Pugilist. He wants to start a fight. Don't know how to do it right. No. Fishpuncher the octopus. He punches. He punches. Fishpuncher the octopus. Punches fish. Fishpuncher the octopus. Pugilist. He hasn't got a beef. Beat up fish just to get relief. Oh, Fishpuncher the octopus. He punches. He punches. Fishpuncher the octopus punches fish. Fishpuncher the octopus. Pugilist. He wants to pick a fight. He's got all night. Fishpuncher the octopus. He punches. Punches. Fishpuncher the octopus. He punches. He punches. Fishpuncher the octopus. He punches. He punches. fish. That ends abruptly, doesn't it? I don't know. Sometimes you just write something and you have to just bring it out to the world. That will go on to my EP entitled The Internet Writes My Songs, including a number of other songs, which I haven't done here because they make even less sense. Some of them don't have a whole lot of words. I actually have a surf punk song. I have a surf punk song, not the surf punk song you're thinking, which I'm gonna do, but another surf punk song, which I wrote prior to that, called Goat Tubes, which is even less easy to explain. If you look up goat tubes on the internet, and I will assure you, it's not as bad as you think it could be. It's basically like a thunder shirt for goats. It's like a calming garment, a weighted blanket for goats. And I saw that, and I just like, goat tubes, and suddenly I wrote a song, and that's actually sitting out on my my SoundCloud. And it needs more instrumentation. It definitely calls for the entire, like, you know, that calls for at least a six-piece band with, like, you know, solos and crap in it. The last one we're going to do today is one of my faves. Hopefully one of yours as well. It is based off of yet another webcomic, because of course that's how I get a lot of my interest in my ideas. Although technically this doesn't really count as, well, I don't think this counts as The Internet Writes My Songs because it was inspired by the cartoon, but it wasn't like a literal, I wrote this because, well, I did write this because I saw the cartoon, but that's not the point. But it is, he said, staggering around trying to find the right part to bring up so you could actually remember it. There it is. It is, however, one of my faves because it involves two things that are very important to me, that are very fun. First of all is the Cat's Cafe webcomic located here. And you can find them on Facebook, Twitter, Tumblr, all over the dang place, really. It's an unrelentingly wholesome and lovely comic, I might add. And the other thing is this is one of the first opportunities I had to really chunk on a ukulele song now. Chunking, for those of you who don't know ukulele theory, and I certainly don't, is where, for want of anything musical to do, you turn your four-stringed, pre-shrunk, guitar-like object into a rhythm instrument by muting the string slightly and then like that. To whatever rhythm. Looking out my back door uses chunking. Now, there's two things I don't do a lot of chunking for two reasons. One, there's not a lot of songs that call for it. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk is one of them. I know, poor Kaiju just hanging out in the sea and an octopus punched him. Now he needs Wouldn't you need a coffee if an octopus punched you? Just to have an opportunity to just sit and reflect on the choices you made that led up to that moment. One is I don't do a lot of chunking, and two is because it doesn't show up as I don't have a reason to do it in my songs. The other thing is that my fingernails have the structural integrity of damp cardboard at best, or a slightly microwaved pudding pop, and they will just fly apart, giving me any opportunity. But this is a good closer. If I had the budget, if I was actually doing like a theater show or a stadium, God forbid a stadium show, this would be the one of the songs that I could end the set with. I would just cut to black and, you know, do the lights and everything, and people would just go, ah, maybe. In the meantime, guys, here we go. I guess they gotta sing and hit the chord at the same time. Kaiju, Kaiju coffee, rising up from the deep. Kaiju, Kaiju coffee, helps them not fall asleep. From the depths of the sea to the city downtown. Kaiju gotta get up and start roaming around. But that decades-long slumber is real hard to shake off. What they need is a gallon of that bubbly black stuff. Kaiju, Kerchunka, Kerchunka, Kaiju coffee, rising up from the deep. Kaiju, Kerchunka, Kerchunka, Kaiju coffee, helps them not fall asleep. Just because you're a giant don't mean that you don't have needs. Sometimes liquid ambition. Helps you plumb on great needs. Try to level a city. First thing in the AM. You need to take a size latte. Get you going again. Kaiju. Kaiju coffee. Rising up from the deep. Kaiju. Kaiju coffee helps them not fall asleep. Giant robots need fuel, and man, a kaiju just you. You gotta have a big tote from 10 gallons of brew. Kaiju cannot be fire if the stove isn't thin. Chucking a macchiato and a flame will not quit. Kaiju. Kaiju coffee rising up from the deep. Kaiju. Kaiju coffee helps them not fall asleep. Kaiju blackout pyro. We have no budget. Thank you very much. And so we come with all of the accuracy, enthusiasm, and precision of a golden retriever on a freshly waxed floor through the middle of the living room that is the Tobias the Adequate Troubadork COVID Quarantine Coping Mechanism Show. Hi, here we are again. Thank y'all for hanging out with me. I appreciate this a great deal. As I've said before, and I will doubtless say again, if y'all didn't watch this, this would be even harder to justify. Really would. Tomorrow is show 200, and as is often the case with the big number shows, so good you'll want to punch a fish. That's right. Slap your mackerel. All right. I should probably rephrase that, but I still kind of like it. It's my new blackout pyro. There we go. You never see him coming, or when you do, it's too late, because then the lights go out. I love the fact that y'all can derail my my train of thought, because that's interaction, and I like that a lot. Being a banter-based life form, and by the way, I'm going to make a button or two. Cornhobble. I am going to make a button that actually says banter-based life form. So if you want one, let me know. I'm going to come up with a design for it, because there are many of us out there. And when we get together, just this great degaussing of like, I have all this material saved up and my family has heard it all. So therefore, hi. I actually did that with the folks over at the massage therapist that we go to, because we got massages on Sunday, and that was awesome. We were safe. We wore masks. They wore masks. We feel much better. Amy came out taller, as often is the case. Absolutely. So tomorrow's show, he said, valiantly attempting to drag back on the topic, will be a longer than normal. I have no idea what I'm going to do. I have no plans. I'm just going to write show 200 in the title up there, and we're just going to go until we're done. Probably about an hour. Mostly because I need to feed Amy. I mean, it'll be like being in later than normal. Tonight we're going to have sliced broiled tomatoes. If you like tomatoes, do this. Get the big ones, the big beefsteak mothers. Slice them thick, put them onto a sheet pan with whatever herbs and spices and some melted cheese and some cheese. Put it on the broiler for about 5 minutes. Pull them out, carefully move them onto a plate, and eat them. Totally worth it. Delicious. Tomatoes are still relatively cheap, which is nice. Tomorrow we'll have to do something even more easy to do. But anyway, we will do all of that. And we will now talk about the things that we always talk about, because we do live in a capitalistic society. I know it's been 6 months into the new administration, and we don't have communism yet. Damn it! Who would have thought? Well, I would have thought. But that's a whole nother conversation for an entirely different show, and that's not the point of this show. The point of this show is that we fight fire with marshmallows. And we do our best to find things to be amused by and laugh, because we've spent way too much time stifling screams. And laughing is better. It's more socially acceptable, too. So anyway, tip jars, paypal.me/theadequate, Venmo, @theadequate. Thank you to Eric and Robert and Rick and Emily and Miranda for tossing some bucks in the bucket. I know, right? That's 6 weeks. How many years ago? And patreon.com/theadequate is my astonishing patron pals, and that's Jen, Joe, Alexi, Austin, Chris Teppo, Shay Litta, and Stephen, Rob, Alicia, Relly, BK, Richard, Brian, Lorene. Y'all continue to support this thing, and it still continues to confuse me, and I will continue to try to give you things that not everybody else gets. You got a preview of one of the songs I'm working on. I am working right now on a video for a THUD Bucket song. We'll talk about that in a moment. Website is @theadequate.com. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter @theadequate, @TobiasTheAdequate for TikTok and Tumblr. SoundCloud is soundcloud.com/Matthew-Laguerre. We're not going to deny anything because it's just we're going to bask in the weirdness, Izzy. We are going to luxuriate like a stressed out person in a bubble bath. We are going to luxuriate in the weirdness. We are just going to soak that stuff in like vitamin D back in the 70s when getting a tan was a good thing. Telling you now. THUD Bucket. Yes, THUD Bucket. I am working on the second take of a video for Praise Hail Nothing. We just had a video come out called Per My Last Email, which is from track 1 of that album. Praise Hail Nothing is a really ambitious, deranged piece of work that involves a lot of multiple video tracks and chroma key and synchronizing to songs and movement and and video effects. And I am doing it on a laptop which gets overtaxed enough that I have to like make changes, save them, and then restart the computer. But I'm doing it because I want to. I know what it looks like in my head. I want to make that happen on the screen. Also, in the event that there are any aspiring animators out there that would be interested in talking to me about an animated music video, let me know. In my mind, I see this as black and white, real like Max Fleischer kind of, old school Betty Boop kind of spaghetti limbs, squash and stretch kind of feel to it. But we'll see. Otherwise, we'll do it live, and it'll be even harder to explain. And that is on THUD Bucket, which is available anywhere that we have the word music associated with it, as well as Facebook and YouTube. And we also have merchandise. You can find that from the Facebook page, which is, of course, called THUD Bucket. That's not the URL, that's just the name of the page. That's it. That's enough out of me. 199 shows, and we are almost one full year into what was going to be a much shorter period of time. But due to the density of the population and the density of the population, this is carried on. There is light. I see light at the end of the tunnel. It's actually coming not just at the end of it, it's actually seeping into the tunnel itself. And it isn't like a sharp focused light like on a train. It's like a light like, oh wow, there's like the clouds are parting some because vaccines are getting out there and people are still doing the things that we're supposed to do because we've been doing it for a year now. And much like seatbelts, I know there's people out there that aren't going to do it, and it really bothers me. And it'll be better when more and more and more of us are like vaccinated and protected, so we can gather again in groups and do this weird crap and confuse people even more. And I think that would be lovely. And that's it. That really is. Be good to yourselves. Be good to each other. Be careful out there. Do the things you need to do to stay safe. Do the things you need to do to stay sane. If one of them is coming and checking out my show every so often, beautiful. We will get through this. We will be all right. We have no choice. That's from Ominous Positivity. Y'all have once again been wonderful. I continue to be, and until I am told that I have to stop, Tobias the Adequate is who I will be. And I thank you all for encouraging my behavior. See you tomorrow on show 200. I have no idea what I'm going to do. It ought to just be